Bones are not made of calcium. Bones are made of a mineral balance.
Bestie's really making me dig out my vertebrate structure and function notes for this. So let's talk about bones. So structurally, what are bones? Everybody has bones. Well, everybody that's watching this, not every living thing has bones. But bones are, so both bones and cartilage are living cells that are surrounded by an extracellular matrix. So certain tissues can get mineralized by things like iron, magnesium, and calcium. Specifically, calcification is the process of deposition of the calcium mineral into a tissue, hardening it and calcifying it. In invertebrates, so like insects, in the case of their exoskeleton, this happens with calcium carbonate, and in vertebrates, this happens as calcium phosphate. This calcification in vertebrates happens during bone development, but in vertebrates that don't have bones, such as sharks, skates, and rays, they can still have calcified tissues that are not technically bones. There's also a process of ossification, which is bone formation. This is because of deposition of hydroxyapatite. Now, hydroxyapatite has the chemical formula of CaPO4OH, so calcium, phosphate, and a hydroxyl. And during ossification, this hydroxyapatite is deposited into the bones, hardening them and forming bone. Now, there are different types of bone. We have the trabecular bone, which is on the inside. It is spongy, it is porous, and it is the part of the bone that contains the marrow, which produces things like blood cells. Now, this trabecular bone is surrounded by the much harder and less porous compact bone, which is the hard stuff that is like the brittle and structural, and it protects the inside of the bone. So bone can arise from the ossification of different tissues, but one of the more common ones is cartilage. So breaches of the skull, specifically the chondrocranium and the splanchocranium, are made from ossified cartilage. So cartilage tissue that has had hydroxyapatite deposited into it, forming it into bone. Some vertebrates, such as Agnatha, like hagfish, or Chondrichthyes, like sharks, they do not have ossified bone, but they still have the chondrocranium and the splanchocranium. They're just not ossified. So they are made of cartilage. They can be calcified, but they are not ossified, so they are not technically bone. So, well, yes, technically, bones are not made of calcium. They do contain quite a bit of calcium, mainly in the form of hydroxyapatite, which contains calcium. There are, of course, many other things involved in bone structure and biochemical makeup, but yes, bones do have calcium in them.